you hear that?
I'm being recorded. Oh no, the FBI.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the After School Special Club podcast. My name is Chris.
My name's Mary.
And
hello.
Things are a little bit different today. Mary, where are you?
Well, I'm actually back on my island.
Oh.
My Animal Crossing island. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you couldn't be here today.
Yeah, you know what? I've been gone for so long, and the last time I was here, I thought the world was going to end. I thought people were going to die everywhere, and this was the perfect escape. So I decided to come back after all this time.
Amazing. Looks beautiful. I actually also am back on my island. It's really hot today, so I'm just hanging out. I'm actually working in the office right now, but no one else is here, and it's also Saturday, so I don't really know why I'm here. But I'm kicking back in my office chair, just relaxing.
You got a lot of paperwork to fill out since leaving. You know,
that's true. Because I haven't been back in like a year, longer.
Yeah,
probably.
No, it's true. I left because all my bells just dried up in a Nook's pocket hole.
Yep.
All the Islanders started saying the same things to me every day, and it got tiring. You know, I just wanted something different. I wanted to hear different things coming from them. They never did. But you know, I came back because I heard about all the goodies that were going to be back on the island. So
goodies galore.
Goodies galore.
Yeah, I mean, in case you guys couldn't tell today, we are obviously talking about Animal Crossing. And for those of you who are just listening, I'm so sorry because this is an entirely visual bit that we're doing. So you need to go to YouTube and watch us over there. But it's fine if you don't want to, because you can also just listen to us on iTunes and Spotify and wherever else podcasts are available. How was that for a segue to finish the intro?
Pretty great. Pretty
Thanks.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm feeling the energy being back in the office, you know what I mean, after working from home for so long. So
yeah, and you know, it's good to talk to another person because there's no one here.
Oh yeah, everyone's
all
gone.
My villagers, died from a broken heart.
Neglect.
You know, it's just a casualty that happens sometimes. So I'm a little lonely, gotta admit, but it's just me and the weeds and the roaches. Yeah.
Oh my God, so many roaches.
So many.
I let them live because there's no one else to talk to.
Exactly. They're my only companion. So
yeah,
I have to let them live. But the cool thing is they throw me birthday parties.
Oh, like more than one?
Yeah, they don't really understand the concept of one birthday a year. So they kind of just throw it for me every day.
Oh.
It's a bit much, but
yeah,
you know, I like the attention.
I was going to say, at least someone is paying attention to you. Because there's no one else.
Because everyone else has died.
Well, you guys.
I'm laughing at their deaths.
You guys, today we are going to talk about Animal Crossing. Oh my God, are we going to talk about Animal Crossing? I am so excited. I watched the Nintendo Direct. So the announcement for an announcement finally got announced.
Yes, the announcement for a date that it's going to come out got announced. That's good.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about some of our things from, I mean, it was long. It was like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and there was a lot of content. So we're not going to really go through everything. We're just going to kind of touch upon some of the things that we were really interested in that struck us. But basically, to give a little bit of a synopsis, so Animal Crossing is going to release new DLC and new updates. So New Horizons is going to get version 2.0, and there's also going to be a paid DLC for the game. And there's going to be tons and tons and tons of new features being added that seem to pull from past Animal Crossing games, as well as new fun content for us to explore. Looks like we'll be seeing the return of old characters like Harvey, Harriet, Cap'n, Brewster, and some more, as well as tons of new features to help spice up daily life, like cooking recipes and home exterior remodeling, God bless, storage capacity and outdoor storage updates, new ways to interact with Islanders, and the return of everyone's favorites, the gyroids and the froggy chair. Oh my God, the froggy chair, so cute.
The froggy chair is adorable. I watched the free update video before I watched the DLC video, so I watched them separately.
Yeah.
So I watched, and then I got confused because then I watched part of the other one and I was like, oh, all this stuff is free too.
No.
That's cool.
No.
I was like, wow, they're adding a lot of stuff. No, it's not free. It's $25.
Yep.
For that extra. Yeah.
It's an expansion pack.
Yes, it's like a Sims now.
I was
But
gonna say they literally went full Sims on that, but we'll get to that. We'll talk about the free stuff first.
yeah. But I really like the cafe. I know the cafe. See, I didn't really play the older games, so I didn't really know about the cafe. But I'm super excited for it
Yeah.
because I love coffee shops in real life. So I'll probably like it in the island life.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like it's one of those features of the older games that I mean, it's like it's not all you can do is go and drink coffee there, but like in the older games, you could go and that's where you would listen to KK Slider.
Oh,
There was like a
okay.
little stage.
Okay. So that's where he would play instead of
Yeah,
the. Okay.
the town
That's
square. And so like I don't like but the thing is like even though it's one of those things with like very little features to it besides looking like you can buy coffee and then also like drink coffee with your friends there. I did like that they seem to expand on it because I was going to say historically it was kind of just like the only thing you would do there is go and drink coffee and listen to KK Slider on the one day a week that he comes. So I'm glad that they are adding other features to that space because it's nice that you can drink coffee, you can make phone calls, something related to the amiibos.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of confused about was the amiibos.
Like I don't know, is
did
it
you
like
have to have?
I think you have to have the card and then you can call and that animal will come.
So you have to have their card.
I think so.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
it also looked like you can hang out with your friends and drink coffee there. If you have other characters visiting your island, other friends visiting you. So it was nice to see that they actually added more functionality to that space because it was always, like I said, just there were only two things you could go and do there. And I think if I remember correctly, Brewster would also store gyroids for you if you befriended him. I don't remember which game that's from, but I've played all of them. So it's like I honestly couldn't tell you, but
How did you befriend them like in the older games? Because it seems like this game you don't really need to do much to befriend them. They're
I
already
think
your
it was
friends.
just like you have to talk to them a certain number of times.
Okay.
So I remember that being a feature. So I don't know, maybe there'll be other discoverable features for the space like that. But yeah, I liked that. And I like the atmosphere of it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be really cool. I've never really experienced that before, so it'll be a first time experience for me.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of like inviting friends that you play with online to the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you probably just sit there and then like drink coffee, but
That's
I feel
it.
like it's more. That's it. But I think it's more interesting than what we were doing, which is like
yeah,
where like one of us would follow around the other person and like get frustrated that they can't have their inventory slots and do the things they want to do. Yeah.
And I would just hit you with my net.
Yeah, that's all we would do. Chase around each other with nets.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say like overall, like big picture, I feel like they are definitely adding a lot of like useful features. Like I was watching the direct and I was honestly like everything they introduced, I was like, oh, like that's awesome. Because I feel like the thing with Animal Crossing is it can get very boring because it's very repetitive and it can also be tedious at times. So it's like after a certain point, right, we all stopped playing and there's a reason for that. So it's nice that they're adding in features that people I think will actually want to use and experience in the game. Because there's tons of other stuff like the cooking feature, which I'm super excited for. I like the idea of, them expanding this sort of DIY recipe card thing and adding in being able to cook, if you have certain kitchenware in your house, being able to collect recipe cards, collect ingredients. It looked like there's going to be, like a farming feature where you can actually have like tomatoes and corn and sugarcane and you can cook and you can eat that food or put it on your table or I'm assuming give it to animals. And I'm super excited for that feature. I think, did you have thoughts on that? I feel like you did.
No, yeah, definitely. The cooking aspect, I started going like, yeah. I was like, finally, it just makes sense. It just makes sense to have cooking in this type of game. Like in Harvest Moon, you could grow crops, you could make food, you could give the food to people, you give the food to villagers, which I wonder if in this one you could give the food to villagers.
I hope so.
Really yeah, I would hope so. They didn't really talk about that part of it, but I just assume. Because they just showed your person eating it and then displaying it, but I'm pretty sure you can give it to people. So I was super excited because I love cooking in pretty much every game that you can cook. I love Cooking Mama. In Harvest Moon, again, liked combining the ingredients. Spiritfarer, that game that I was playing recently, you can cook, you can like give it to your like people that you're on the ship with. It's just so fun. I mean, I've even went so far as to play Desperate Housewives on PC from Scholastic Book Fair. I went in blind, did not watch the show, didn't care about the show. And I was like, oh, what is this? It's kind of like Sims. It reminded me of Sims. And I was like, you can cook? That's what I thought. I was like, you could cook?
You can cook in this?
Yeah.
New favorite game of the year.
Too many hours of Desperate Housewives just cooking. And I was like, wow, I'm a stereotype. Like, I'm a woman who loves to cook in games. Put me in the kitchen. I'll make a sandwich.
It's where I belong.
And I'll give that sandwich to someone.
And they're going to either like it or hate it. It depends on their preference.
They're like, ew, I only like trashy food. You gave me something good.
I only like plain rice.
Spiritfarer. I like basic. I'm a basic bitch. I like plain rice.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be a feature like that where like, because animals have personalities, right? So I wonder if there's going to be like food personalities where it's like the like snooty characters like more like complicated, complex dishes. And the jocks like hearty, like I don't know. It'd be cool.
Just oats.
Just oats.
Protein.
Yeah. And the preppy people like sweets. Like I could see that being a really cool feature. I would be kind of disappointed if they don't do that because it makes sense. But we'll see.
Yeah, and like I always remember my penguin on the island, which was like his name. I forget his name right now. Well, he's gone anyway. But
he's dead from a heartbreak.
So yes, but he would always talk about food. Like I guess he was like the lazy one.
Yeah, the lazy ones love food.
Yeah, all they talked about was food. So I was like, that would be deceivingly bad of them to not give the lazy ones their food. Finally.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and the lazy characters' preference would just be like anything. Like you give them any food, they're happy.
Yeah, pretty much. Which isn't in Spiritfarer. There's also a character, side note, that is like that. Like they'll take anything, doesn't matter. They're like a vacuum, which I feel like the lazy type would just be a food vacuum. Anything to get in there. Anything in my mouth. It's good.
That's my motto.
Yeah.
Put it in my mouth.
Put it in there. Put it in there.
I want you to put it in my mouth.
Slowly now. But then another feature, I guess, in line with that is you can invite villagers over to your house, or they can come unannounced, or you can be invited to their house.
They just show up and I'm like, I'm completely naked. I'm like, they're like, I hope you don't mind if I come in. And I'm like,
you're already in here and you're already looking at me naked.
Awooga.
And I like the video and like the guy's like walking down the creepy dark hallway. And he's like, I hope you don't mind.
If I just came in.
And he was literally in a robe. He was like, what? Get out of here.
Yeah, that was a feature that was in previous Animal Crossing games where like where like animals, well, first of all, animals would ask you to hang out. I think in Wild World, the DS one, they would ask you and set a time, and so you could show up at that time. And then in one of the games following that, they could ask you to come over and you just go over whenever. And then in one of them, they would just knock on your door randomly and be like, can I come in? And I'd have to be like, I fucking guess.
You're already here.
I guess so. You're already inside. Welcome to my fucking house.
They're like, it's small in here. You need to expand.
No, and they would come in, and then because I'm not like hanging out in my house, like I'm doing stuff. So I'd be in there and they'd be like, knock, 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 bring. Hi, hope you don't mind if I come in. And I'd be like, hi. And then I would leave immediately because I'm like, I'm not here to chill. Like I'm here to game. And then they would be like, oh, guess I'll leave too. And I'm like, yeah.
Like, can I go? That's the best way to like, if you have social anxiety, just to get out of a situation. Someone comes over and they're like, you're like, okay, fine, I guess. And then they're over here and they're like, I gotta go. And they're like, well, I guess I'll go too. And I'm like, yes.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
And they leave.
Especially
and then
like aggressive people that like to insert themselves on introverts. They're like,
hate it.
Get out of here.
All bad.
But yeah, maybe I could squeeze in, like so far with all these updates, I'm thinking I could squeeze in maybe another 20 hours. Dare I say 50 hours?
What?
Stretch. I mean, I think I had over 200 hours.
Oh, easily. I looked.
Yeah.
Because I actually, you know what's funny is I was playing my Switch the other day and I opened Animal Crossing to update it and just to like jump back in for like 10 minutes. And I checked and I think I had like 220 or something around there hours. And I was like, what the fuck?
Pandemic, man. Like this game came out at the perfect timing.
Seriously.
Like it came out and then we would just play that all day.
Yeah, because we would, I mean, you and I were still working, you know, in person, but we would, that was it. Because we wouldn't even, you and I weren't even hanging out at that point when it was really bad. So we would just work and then come home and we would just play Animal Crossing and then rinse and repeat basically.
Yep. I think we like called each other on the phone because Switch is still behind with the online aspects, which we'll get into later, their online aspects. But what do you think about the stretching?
Oh my God, I love it. I think it's so clever because it's like it's like a gameplay feature that's like super cute and fun that also gets you as a lazy fucking couch potato to get your ass up and actually like stretch, which I think is really important.
Yeah, no, it's definitely important. I always forget to stretch in real life. Mm-hmm. Chances are I'll probably forget to stretch in the game.
Oh, I will not be. I'll be doing the feature, but I won't be stretching in real life.
Yes.
But I could see how it could be motivating to actually get you to stretch in real life.
No, it's true. And also for like young kids, you know, that's a good thing to have in a game, like to be active.
Because it is important to stretch when you've been sitting, especially because for gaming, you know, you're sitting in the same position, you end up slouching. Like, I mean, I look disgusting. Like an hour into playing a game, when I catch my posture, I look like the fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like I'm Quasimodo. I'm like
Gollum.
Yeah, and then I'm like, God, why am I was like, why do I hurt so bad? And I'm like, because I'm almost 30 and I'm fucking like sitting like this playing PlayStation.
I do the same thing, and I do like weird things with my legs. Like I'll put them up on the wall.
Me too.
And like just to cool my legs off, I'm like, I'll put it on the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't good for my back at all. Because I'm also turned and like facing the TV, and I'm like, this is awful.
Well, because you know what my setup looks like. It's in front of my bed. So I'll sit on the end of my bed and then I'll put my feet up on my dresser. So I'll be sitting how I'm sitting now. Like I'm slouching like this to make it look like I'm sitting back in my office chair, but like I will be slouching like this with my feet up on my bureau. And then I'll be like, why does my back hurt? Oh.
That's why. Partially why.
Partially
also just getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really got into the camp of like, you know, I didn't really believe people when they said late 20s. Like their back would start hurting randomly. So true. I'm 29 and I'm like, I just like sit. I'm like, ow.
Right. I don't do anything. And I'm like, God, my back is killing me.
Oh, and I always like, I've been like rubbing the bottom of my back, like the small of my back when I'm just walking. And I'm like, I am literally old.
So yeah, I think the stretching feature will be more important for people our age than for kids.
True. You need to realign ourselves with good posture and good body habits.
Right.
I mean, honestly, like the Ring Fit Adventure for the Switch, like that was great.
Yeah.
I didn't keep up with it because, you know, like most games, I just play another one. But
yeah,
it was really cool. And I think that Nintendo does a really good job of like blending, I guess, like fitness or health into their games. Mm-hmm. They kind of like a healthier mindset, I feel like, or they're invested in it.
Yeah.
Which it shows with the stretching thing too.
Yeah.
Also, there's a fly just like hovering around. So if you just see me like swatting and or smacking something, it's because I'm trying to take out a fly.
Well, yeah, you're sitting outside.
Yeah, I mean, there's mosquitoes, flies, like those mammoth moths that I can't catch ever.
Scorpions.
On trees, because they always,
well, actually, no, because it's not nighttime.
That's right. But the tarantulas, I miss them. I miss going to Tarantula Island.
Tarantula Island. I can't believe they nixed that. I mean, I can because we were all cheating so hard, but like.
It's so amazing. When I first got because I tried for so long to be able to get tarantulas to spawn on an island.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally got it, I was so excited. I was like, that's probably the most happy I've felt in years.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just had like all these tarantulas. I'm like, I'm going to sell these for so many bells.
I'm going to be so
many
fucking
bells.
rich.
Yeah.
And I was.
So anyway, another thing they added was the storage outside
Oh my God.
capability.
You love to see it.
Yeah. I feel like that's a really smart move. And I wonder why they didn't have it before. Do they have it in the old ones?
No.
Okay.
You always had to go inside.
Okay.
And along those same lines, they also added putting the ATM machine or whatever it's called, ABD, outside.
Yeah.
Which is
so
nice.
You don't have to go to the town hall for the
right. You can actually just go and access all that shit outside. And I was just like, I it's the little things, right?
Yeah. I feel like they really listen to fans. They're probably like, okay, people are sick of this. People are sick of going inside their house and like trying to get their inventory in line, trying to put stuff away, and then having to go outside. And like also my, I guess, toolbox or wherever it was that you put your inventory, like extra stuff too, like it's in a separate room. So it was like an added thing where I had to go to like different rooms to like make sure everything was good and then come out, and I was just like,
all bad.
All bad. So I'm glad that they did this. Such a good.
It just makes sense, you know?
It makes sense. But another one that I have actually had no experience with, the gyroids. People are excited about this.
Yeah, the gyroids. They're so cute. And it looks like...
They remind me of like...
Go ahead.
Or they just remind me of the like the wooden spirits, the forest spirits in Princess Mononoke.
Mm-hmm.
They remind me of those.
Yeah, well, what I like is that they changed the design of them, because previously they were, I mean, there was like 100 of them or something, but like they were not so diverse in design. Like it looks like there's going to be like really tiny ones, big ones, because previously there was like, I think maybe like 3 sizes, and you could only like put them on the floor, and there was like a short one, a medium-sized one, and a really tall one. But I don't know. I'm excited. I think they're super cute. And the cool thing about them is that when you put them in your room, and like you put music on, they harmonize and they like make percussive sounds to literally whatever song you put on the radio.
That's so cool.
So it just adds a nice atmosphere to your house, and they're super cute. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I mean, I haven't had an experience with it, but they were definitely cute. And I did like I saw the variations, and I figured like it didn't, because I think I looked up previous pictures of them in previous installments. I was like, they don't look the same. So I knew that they didn't look the same. They look different.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Any kind of harmonies, because anytime a sound maker, I always put it in my house, like those boxes or whatever, and I go up to it and I press it and like boop 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 boop, like
boop 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 boop.
Yeah, like constantly. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice to just have that and not have to interact with anything, just in the background.
Yeah, and you can turn them off. You can turn them on.
You can turn them on.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can turn them on.
Oh, yeah, you can.
It's more like thyroid. I love my thyroid. But yeah, so you had something to say?
No.
Okay.
No,
well,
so
that's my island life.
Oh yeah, sorry. I have to get back to work actually in this office.
That's right. You got a lot of paperwork to fill out because everyone's coming back to the islands now.
Fuck.
Everyone who left is coming back. So you're going to need a lot of...
Well, speaking of islands, it looks like there's going to be even more islands that we can visit. Secret islands.
That's
Islands. Ooh, So they're bringing
that.
back Cap'n, who is a character from the other games, and he is going to whisk us away on his boat and sing us a sea shanty, and he is going to take us to some secret islands that you can't access via plane. And
it kind of sounds a little shady, but I'm into it.
You know. And the cool thing about these islands, and I think this is an awesome feature because it looks like there's going to be diversity in terms of the flora and the fauna. Well, maybe just the flora, like the plants and stuff. And then it's actually going to be possible to visit islands that have a different season, different weather, different time of day, etc., which is awesome because if you are like me and you're an impatient collector, there's nothing that I hated more than having to wait for seasons to change.
Yes,
for bugs
absolutely.
and fish.
Yeah.
Or like even like
Yeah.
weather, like there's certain fish and certain bugs that only
Mhm.
come out when it's raining or snowing.
Or like night and day. It's like
Yeah.
there's certain creatures that come out night and day. It's like it's nice to
Exactly. So I think, I mean, and so I'm assuming that will play into the collectible feature where like you can visit these secret islands, and if it's, let's say, nighttime in the middle of summer, you can get those fish and those insects if that's not the current situation on your own island. So I think that's really awesome. If that is a feature, they didn't elaborate more on how that variability is going to affect the gameplay, but I would assume, you know, if you're in a space with different weather, different time of day, different season, the insects and the fish will also be different, hopefully. So I think that's a cool feature.
No, yeah, for sure. And I really liked, I think one of my favorite features in the game already was going to other islands and like farming, like material farming, like tree, you know, all the kind of stuff.
Just completely deforesting
just
an
ripping
island.
the whole island apart
Yep.
and then leaving a ruin and then going to another island, doing the same.
Yeah.
And then destroying the ecosystem around me. Yeah, I loved it.
I love it.
I think we should do more of it in the world, this world. We don't do enough of it.
Support climate change.
I'm all for that. But that was one of my favorite parts about it. So I got excited when I had the prospect of going to a different location than I've been to.
Mm-hmm.
Like having fruit on a tree that I don't have on my own island.
Oh, that's my favorite. That.
Yeah. So I think this is really exciting because after a while it got boring because you ran out of everything. Like you've been to all that, you know what they're going to offer.
Right.
There's not going to be a lot of things that are different. You have all your fruit on the island now because you've collected it all.
Right. So, you planted it.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, it'll be nice to have like something else to look forward to.
I wish that they would add different varieties of fruit.
Yeah. They just can't add pineapple.
Mary will die.
I'll die.
Mary's
even in a game, I'll die if I touch it.
Yep.
Yes. But yeah, no, that would be cool. I would like that. What fruit are there? There's peach, cherry, apple.
Yep. Pear. Coconut.
Okay. Is that it? I feel like there was another one.
I feel like there's another one.
Peach, cherry, apple, coconut. I feel like we're trying to like make a smoothie. I'm really angry about it. Or like peach.
Pear.
Peach pear.
Peach pear.
That's gonna be in my head all night.
Peach pear. Is that it?
There's. I thought there was another fruit, but maybe not. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I don't remember, but. Because I mean, what I did like is they diversified. Yeah, they diversified the flowers, which was cool. Because previous games it was just like 3 kinds of flowers or whatever. But I wish they would diversify the fruit. Because I feel like, and maybe I'm making this up because I'm delusional, but I feel like in one of the old games there was like banana, lychee, like there was all these random. Oh, did we say oranges?
We did not. So oranges. Okay. I thought there was one more.
Yeah. I'm a genius.
Mm-hmm. You created oranges. You're a genius.
I did. I created oranges.
Mm-hmm. Not Florida oranges. This is too quality.
Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no.
Okay. Yeah, no, I that would be interesting if they do. I feel like they would have said that though. Maybe?
Yeah, right. I feel like that's something they would have announced. So I doubt that there will be.
They're keeping a secret because it's a secret island, secret fruit.
Oh, ooh. Ah!
Yeah, it's just jackfruit. That's it.
That's it. Just is one kind of fruit.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I'm excited about that part.
Yeah.
But another part that's really exciting is the ability to go to Harb's Island again.
Yeah.
There's something new there.
That pervert.
Yeah, that perv. He wants to like photograph you in his rooms.
Yep.
He's like, come into my house. I have no furniture.
I have no furniture.
Yes,
I just have these sets. Pose for me. I want you to pose for me.
He's like, no, I'm going. I'm leaving. He's like in a peephole, just like watching from outside the house.
Dude, that's what that felt like.
Yeah.
But no, luckily this is not that. This seems a lot more safe because there's going to be more people around. It looks like there's going to be like a flea market is how I see people describing it, and that's kind of how I would describe it. Like it looks like there's going to be like a kind of like in the previous game, there's going to be like a campsite feature, but it won't be a campsite. It'll be like a flea market where different vendors can set up shops. It looks like I said, we're going to see characters come back like Harriet, Harv, Kix is going to be there, Leaf, all of these characters.
That's cereal.
Yeah. I actually don't like Kix.
I've never had Kix, but.
Wow.
I've had ticks though.
Oh, absolutely.
I have one on me right now because I'm outside.
Yeah. Oh, gross. So sorry. But, yeah, so it looks like they'll be able to set up shop there. I don't know if it'll be permanent or if it'll be like a rotating thing, kind of like how they rotate through your island. But I think that's cool, to have a space where you can go and be like, yeah, I want to get a haircut and get new hairstyles in the game. Because I also got really bored of the hairstyles, and it looks like there's some cute new hairstyles, and because all the defaults were terrible.
Oh, they're so bad. And that's one of the things I kept wishing for, because you could upgrade. There was like the Nook you trade Nook miles in to get the other upgrades for haircuts. There was one other set or two other sets. And I always save them up to buy those. So I'm like, please give me some good haircuts. No. So I'm excited. Now they said in the video, they were 11, including Harriet's styles.
Yes, there might just be a whole bunch.
Just 11?
Oh, okay, I don't know.
Because that was the phrasing of that was kind of confusing for me, because they said including. So right.
So I'm are there new hairstyles and Harriet's hairstyles?
That's what I assume. That's what I'm assuming. There's 11 new hairstyles. And then in addition to that, Harriet's.
Which it seems like you have to unlock, and then you can permanently rotate through them, which I think is cool if that's how that works.
I wonder if you have to go to Harriet several days. She changes every day what the hairstyle she gives.
I'm not sure, because in the previous games, you would go and she would have a shop and you would pay, and you would go and I think you could only do it once a day, and she would give you prompts, and you had to choose an option, and based on your 3 answers, you would get a hairstyle. So that was one of my favorite features of the old games, trying to get a hairstyle and see based on what I answer what hairstyle she gives me. And I had the Animal Crossing Wild World strategy guide, and so it had a flow chart.
Oh, that's cool.
And I remember thinking that feature was really cool. So I don't know if it'll be a similar thing, if you'll, depending on what you say. I guess we'll see.
I like a little surprise, especially after being on the island for so long that everything got boring.
Right, and there were no surprises.
So I'm looking forward to all the new surprises. I really hope they do that kind of thing for Harriet's style shop. But I do hope that the flea market, I hope that it is permanent. Yeah, they're permanently there. Yeah, because you pay your bells. So I'm guessing the bells are going to be 100,000. It's not going to be cheap.
Oh, God, no.
Nook wants all the money.
And he's found new ways to get
money. Yeah, he's found new ways to get his money. And he's they stopped giving me bells. I got to do something else to get more bells. What do I got to do around here?
I got to get some bells.
I got to do this. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's going to cost a lot of bells. And if I spend all those bells, I want to be able to go there whenever I damn well please.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious if it'll be if they'll have permanent setups, but they're only there certain days of the week, or what the situation is going to be like.
I want them there 24/7. They don't even sleep. They forget they have a family. They just don't have a life outside of work.
Well, yeah, that's how life should be. You should only be working and pumping bells into the society.
You get it. A lot of people don't get it.
Yeah. People
need to
think
work every holiday.
Yeah. People think that you should be able to have a life, happiness, health, comfort.
Gross.
Right?
Why? That's disgusting.
I want to work disgusting constantly. And selfish. How who doesn't want to just work constantly?
I feel selfish people only don't want to work.
Exactly. And that's how I feel about Animal Crossing.
Yeah. But I'm definitely gonna. When does this come out? November
5th.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely okay. The DLC though. So talking about the DLC, that was like all the free stuff.
Yes.
Most of
That
it.
was, yeah. So we just,
Like,
that all that stuff we just talked about was free in the version 2 update, which is awesome.
yes. But the DLC, it's like it's just like a way that you can help animals basically create their houses. And it's a
Yes.
way that you can basically get new items. So like new
Mhm.
furniture items, new stuff like that, new ways to decorate. And I like this because it's a job. Like we were talking about work. I'm always working.
Yeah.
You go to work and you help
Yeah.
other islanders, and it brings out a little bit more, like, I guess, new stuff to it, which I think is definitely worth it.
Yeah, and it's cool because like the concept is like, oh, you go to an island and you help animals build their dream home, and it's a very like, it reminds me of like The Sims and like Minecraft, like creator mode or whatever it is, where you literally just like build out plots of land. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can choose like their house design, the size. You can even change the dimension, which I thought was really cool because I always felt like it was super limited that you could only have square dimensions and you couldn't
Yeah.
have like a rectangle house and you couldn't
Mm-hmm.
have like something that they had in the build mode. It looked like was like you could put up walls and pillars so you could actually
Mm-hmm.
divide a room, which was really cool. You can change the outside of the house. You can, like you said, get all this new furniture and, you know, help animals get the whatever theme that they want for their house. And you can even customize their yard and stuff like that. So I'm like, yes.
I know. Yeah, it's just gonna. I was like, I'm happy with the free DLC. I'm gonna play it regardless again. But
Yes.
like, I think paying the extra money is worth it for me
Hmm.
because I will play it more.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna definitely buy the DLC.
Same.
But I was confused about one thing. So in like the DLC, when you're building like these people's dream homes, right?
Hmm.
And you can go outside and like do the landscaping outside,
Hmm.
you can plot like the paths from
Yeah.
like top down
Yes.
instead of like going to each plot on your island
Right.
and like having to dig or having to like put it down physically in
Right.
front of you. Does that apply to everything now? Even the
I don't
even the free?
I don't know. I hope it does.
Yeah, because I got really excited when I saw that. And this is also when I got confused on what was free and what was DLC. I thought it was free. So I was like, they fixed it. They finally fixed
Nope.
the thing that like I was annoyed with, which is like you could just plot out the whole thing and not have to
Right.
physically go to everything.
Because I guess I don't know. Because from my understanding, and I could also be wrong, because I perceived it like the features that you get from the DLC, you can also use on your island. Like you'll get access to some of that stuff. Because
They would
I
make us
remember
pay for that.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, because I remember being like, oh, like this means that people who, like if you're playing with people who have paid for the DLC, they could potentially have features and items that you can't and don't have. Because they made it seem like you could transfer that stuff to your own island once you've earned it from working, which I don't know if that's true. But I do hope that the construction part changes, because we didn't talk about any of this stuff, but there's going to be like app updates, not in your phone, in the free download update, where you're going to have like an updated camera, updated construction, updated design for clothes and stuff like that. And so I wonder if that, like, if you'll be able to build out your own island in that aerial view. Because that, I mean, I would just fucking lose my shit. I would go ape shit building a brand new island.
Yeah, because it'd be a lot better. Like it was so frustrating having to build an island in the way that we had to, or if we're
in that
forced
perspective, I'm like, it should have been bird's eye.
Yeah, definitely. So if that's the case, and like the DLC, that's how you get that. I think it's really funny because you have to pay actual money to do that, because it's like that's
Right.
one of the top complaints that people had.
Right.
Was not being able to do that from the bird's eye view.
God, yeah, that construction mode, that was my biggest qualm with the game, besides it being boring and repetitive after a while. which is par for the course with Animal Crossing. So I didn't complain. But yeah, the build mode, whatever it is, the construction thing, awful. So I hope that is different.
No, definitely. And I also we didn't talk about this either, but the ladders. So you can like now buy like a toolkit to have permanent ladders on islands that you visit and like your island. And that's good because I hate having to take my ladder everywhere. Like,
yeah, as a fucking using it as a tool. I'm like, this is fucking annoying. Let me just put a permanent ladder. And because like you have a limit on the number of ramps you can build, and they're also so expensive. Which they did. We also didn't mention this, but they updated. You can have now, I think, a maximum of 10 bridges and ramps, which is great. So, but yeah, that ladder feature was one of the free features. So being able to set up permanent ladders, you'll love to see it.
Yeah, that's great. But I do want to talk about the new Nintendo subscription cost. Because there's a lot of people that are upset about it right now.
Yes.
So now they're changing it. Like the family plan before it was like $35 like for a year. And now for the family plan, it's going to be $50 to get the extra additional like N64 and Sega bundle, like the ability to play those games.
Right.
But it also comes with the Animal Crossing DLC.
Right.
You can't separate it though, it seems like. You can't not buy the animal. If you don't play Animal Crossing, you need to buy the DLC anyway.
Yeah, you just get the DLC.
Yeah, so like you need to spend that extra money to get that DLC. It's
that you're not going to use.
Yeah, it's like, I don't really play Animal Crossing. Why would I need that? Why pay the extra money for that? Now, granted, like I'm wearing my PlayStation coat.
Yeah.
It has I don't know if it's going to disappear.
There it is.
But the PlayStation, if you don't get the deal for that, which I get every December, which I recommend to everybody because it gets half off on December.
The best way to do it.
Yeah, but it's $120 a year.
Yeah.
If you just pay the regular price for it. And it's like, compare that to the Nintendo's $50. It's really like, I'm like, like that's actually really cheap still.
Yeah.
However, I think when it comes to like the internet, like presence and like, just like the online store and everything, I feel like Nintendo isn't there yet. Compared to Xbox, compared to PlayStation, they're just not.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's interesting. It's always still interesting to me how poor Nintendo's internet presence is. You know, especially what, like you said, when you look at like PlayStation, when you look at Xbox, who have these dynamic online stores, super incredible multiplayer games. You know, which again, I don't play multiplayer games, but I really admire them because a lot of them are amazing, you know, and have incredible online features and, you know, additional stuff you can purchase in the stores. And Nintendo is just so far behind with that. I mean, they don't even have like voice, like online. You can't talk to people online, you know, like you can when you play like Xbox or PlayStation online games. You know, it's like with Animal Crossing, for example, it's like you could visit each other's towns, but like you couldn't talk to each other, right? Like you could only text each other.
Yeah, and the texting was so
bad.
It was so bad. Like all I did was reactions and chase you around with the net.
Yep, exactly.
That's how I showed my loyalty to you.
Yeah, charades.
Yeah, oh man. Yeah, that's true. Like I feel like, and I don't know the Xbox cost for their subscription, but I feel like it's similar to PlayStation, maybe around the same cost, like $120.
I feel like it's cheaper. I think it's really cheap because from what I remember, I think it's like $9.99 a month or something, and you get it's $9.99 a month, and you can play like anything.
Is that the Xbox Live included?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Xbox. So I just feel like it's really cheap. Like I feel like it's $9.99 a month and you have the ability to essentially play whatever game in the cloud that you want. So you could play it on your PC or your Xbox.
Oh yeah.
And pick up have your save data in the cloud so you can play wherever you want and pick up wherever you left off, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I'm honestly jealous of Xbox for that reason. Like I actually want an Xbox, like the new one, because I want to do like Xbox Live. I want to be able to play like my Steam game, you know, like kind of cross platforms, like play those games. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing though that we're talking about, right? It's like you have Microsoft has those incredible features. PlayStation also has a really amazing online store, great games for discounts every month.
Streaming. You can stream straight from your PlayStation 4, your PlayStation 5. We have PlayStation
5s.
We have a PlayStation 5, each of us. We have one.
Okay. We met our one video mention quota. We did it.
Yes. But yeah, that's another thing. It's like the ability to be able to even stream. Like Switch doesn't really have that. Switch just got the Bluetooth capability.
Right.
Which
it still honestly, sucks really from what I heard. Does it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't really. I have a Pixel Buds, which I'm using right now.
Yeah.
They don't, it's kind of spotty. Sometimes it goes in and out. Because I got really excited. I was like, because at first, like I didn't know when I got my Switch that it didn't have Bluetooth.
Right.
And, you know, these are the headphones that I use now. I don't have like earbuds. I don't have like wired anymore. So I'm completely wireless now. I'm on the go.
I'm on Mary's a busy woman. She's on the go.
I'm a businesswoman. I have to wear no wires.
You have to run an island.
Yeah. An empty island with just roaches.
Yep. And weeds.
And weeds. And weed.
Weed.
And roaches. But yeah, so I thought that it already had it. So when I found out it didn't, I was like severely disappointed. I was like, how am I supposed to?
Right.
No! Because that's the appeal of playing handheld, like on a plane or something like that. Like you want to be able to put your buds in. So.
And the thing is, Nintendo has, I mean, think about fucking Smash. Imagine if you could play Smash with your friends online and there was a voice option.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like,
no, for sure.
It's just insane to me with like the way that PlayStation and Microsoft are innovating the online space, streaming, you know, game features every month, whatever, downloads, DLC, extra content, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, Nintendo being like the third big conglomerate, you know, you would think that they would be, you know, trying to best their competitors. But the other thing is, though, this is Nintendo's fucking brand. Like, we let them get away with being shit, and we're fine with it. So they're probably like, there's no pressure because, like, whatever we do, people eat it up. So
it's true. And it's like Nintendo, I feel like they're good at keeping things the same, but increasing the price of it.
Exactly.
They keep things the same, increase the price. You know, games that came out like 10 years, they're still the same price. It's like, you know, it's so expensive. The games are so expensive. And they don't really have a greatest hits like PlayStation where it drops down to like $20 or like, you know, $15 eventually. Like they don't have that. That doesn't really exist.
It is an interesting business model.
I mean, I feel like, you know, I have people close to me that are really Nintendo heads. Like Nintendo is where it's at for them. And they say that Nintendo puts quality over everything else. So like they are consistent. They're the most consistent company, which I do agree with.
I agree with that.
They are the most consistent.
And I was actually just thinking that because when I was looking at the show notes earlier, I was thinking about consistency and also the quality. I've never played a Nintendo game that was buggy.
Yeah. It's true.
Whereas I
don't think I have either.
Name a handful of games that I've played on PlayStation that are very buggy. Yeah. And so, and like, it's not, and that's not like a deal breaker for me. Like, you know, that I'm a diehard PlayStation fan still, but I do agree, you know, Nintendo does offer us consistency and quality, which is great. You know, it makes them reliable.
And they're also like, you know, we make fun of like, I think we made fun of them several times at this point of like having announcements for announcements.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they put the time in it to make the game the best that it can be before putting it out. Right. And they don't have like, they don't care what people say. And that's the beautiful thing. It's like, they don't care. Like people could shout and be like, Bayo 3 should have already been out by now. It's like, we should have already had a playthrough, like gameplay video or footage or something like that to like show us.
Right.
But Nintendo just doesn't care. They're like, no, we're going to do it.
We'll get to it when we get to it. Okay.
We're going to let them develop it further.
Right.
You know, before we even get this out. And honestly, the Bayo 3 doesn't look finished at all.
Yeah.
The trailer doesn't look finished. So I understand why they keep pushing it out. Like,
right.
It's smart. I feel like it is smart because you have less bugs, you have less problems. you don't run across the cyberpunk issue where everyone's
Right.
pissed because this game is broken. Like,
Right.
it's good for their PR. Like, it's
Yeah.
good for them to stay solid, is to like be
Right.
consistent. And I feel like a lot of consistency comes from keeping things the same.
Right.
And like not changing too much too fast. I'm starting to disappear. But
I know. It was just like, oh, there she goes.
I know. Hold on.
Mary's, because for those who are listening, Mary is wearing a green, like a neon green jacket.
Doesn't work.
And she's using a green screen. So every once in a while, she disappears.
Well, because I knew we were talking about Nintendo for this whole time. So
you're going to wear PlayStation.
My PlayStation coat to give me the protection that I needed.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So consistency, it's like you need to stay consistent. So a lot of things need to stay the same.
Right.
I do feel like they're changing a little. They're trying to change, right? Like they're trying to change a little bit of what they're doing, which is good. And I feel like they need to. Yes. But I think they're doing it in their own time. But I understand why people are so angry about this new cost, because you can't separate it. Like, it shouldn't be that much more expensive to just be able to access these amount of games, like the N64 games and the Genesis games. But yeah, so I understand the anger.
Yeah,
I get it.
That's fine, because I'm not going to pay for it, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to get it. I really like the N64 controller, though. Like, that's pretty dope. I'm tempted to get that, because I was like, oh, that looks really cool.
What a terrible controller design, though.
Oh, N64?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I never had an N64, but I used to, as a kid, go over to my friend's house, and they had an N64. And I remember playing Ocarina of Time on their N64.
Yeah.
And I remember holding the controller for the first time.
It's so awkward.
How are you supposed? I didn't know how to play. Like, I couldn't move. Like, I didn't know how to use it. I was like, how do you use this controller?
It's because it's like, how do I hold it? And then like, how? Because the joystick is right in the middle. So you're like, do I hold the left and the middle arm, or do I hold the left and the right arm and like reach my thumb way over? It's very awkward. But
yeah, and it's supposedly a lot of people rate it as like the most comfortable controller, or the most well-designed controller out there.
Terrible design.
No, and like I played it recently, and like I learned that you put your left hand on the middle and your right hand on the right, and that's how you're supposed to hold it.
Huh?
Because you don't use the D-pad a lot.
Right.
You use the D-pad. I think it's in the menu or something. I don't know.
Right. Or like camera for like the camera angles. At least in Super Mario 64.
Yes, but it still irritates me to hold it, because I feel like I'm holding half the controller.
Right, and then because you shouldn't have to move your hand. Like, because if you want to use the D-pad, you have to move your hand. So I'm like, you shouldn't, when you're holding a controller, you shouldn't have to move your hand. You should only have to move your thumbs and your two fingers, your pointer and your middle fingers. That's my philosophy.
Again, we've learned that we like to trash talk Nintendo any way that we can, and put.
So that's our new thing, huh? So we have to every episode promote that we have a PS5 and that we don't like Nintendo. It's not that I don't like Nintendo, but I do love shit talking them.
I love Nintendo, but I think it's because and I know I'm going to say this again, and this offended you previously, and I like a really old podcast episode we did, but it's like the Patriots. It's like watching the Patriots play a game, and you're like, oh, they won again? Cool. It's like, it's like the David and Goliath. It's like, they're the big ones. Like, it's easy to trash on them because they're the highest. I feel like still, like with the Switch sales and everything, they're on top right now.
Yeah.
So it's easy to trash talk people that are on top.
And on that note, I think that's enough for today. Yeah. Whoa. I think that's enough.
That's enough.
Mary, don't you dare say another word.
I'm going to say one more word.
What the fuck?
Poop.
All right, everybody. This has been fun. I love Animal Crossing, so I'm happy that we got to do this. So yeah, again, just a reminder, you can listen to us on iTunes and Spotify, watch us on YouTube. We also are putting up some Halloween videos. So Spooky Mad Libs is already out. We're going to have a spooky golf with your friends video coming out, and then hopefully pumpkin carving. Yes, so if Mary and I ever leave our islands and come back to the city, there will be spooky pumpkin carving. So you can stay tuned for those videos.
Thanks for listening or watching or both.
Bye. Bye.